Next on Worcester News tonight, puppies rescued in Douglas. What police say led up to the discovery and the charges the owner is now facing. Plus, a local restaurant, which has been in the city for only 2 years, is already getting national attention. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Those stories in just a moment, but first tonight we begin with developing news. Worcester police on scene of what appears to be a serious car accident on Lake Avenue. Investigators are working on a head-on crash involving 2 vehicles, a truck and a sedan. We're hearing at least 1 person has critical injuries. Glass and debris from the cars could be seen on the road. Few other details are known at this hour about what happened. Both lanes of Lake Avenue are shut down. Switching gears now, Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito in Shrewsbury this afternoon to announce $2.5 million in site readiness grants to 12 communities. Shrewsbury is one of those 12 communities taking advantage of the planning program. Polito says this is an initiative the administration started through an economic development bill in 2016. It programmed in $15 million to help communities think about certain parcels of land which could be turned into development. Shrewsbury is using the money for this area of land off of South Street.
A parcel of land in this community that has long sat undeveloped, and the community will use this grant to help plan what are the current and potential uses that they could attract to Shrewsbury that could develop that parcel.
She says when you put a parcel into development, you can attract housing, industrial uses, and commercial uses, and turn more tax revenue into the community for services. It's a situation police say could have ended up a lot worse. 12 St. Bernard puppies are pulled from poor conditions inside a home in Central Mass. The discovery came after police found an abandoned dog wandering through town. Our Cam Jandro has the story.
The Douglas Police Department is full of playful puppies Friday. Their situation is a lot better than it was a week ago when they were found living with their owner in poor conditions.
I believe they fell on hard times is the description. They had actually rehomed 7 other dogs the day before. And altogether they had over 20 dogs when they were evicted from their apartment.
Regional Animal Control Officer Kevin Sullivan says this St. Bernard named Buddy was found roaming around town last Friday. Police tracked down the owner after a passerby gave them a tip.
We were able to locate the person that had dumped the dog, and also upon the investigation we were able to find these 12 puppies along with female St. Bernard.
The owner signed over the 12 puppies but now faces animal cruelty charges. Police say he abandoned Buddy in the center of town. Patrolman Tony Yanino helped rescue the puppies. At only 5 weeks old, he fears what could have happened to them.
I don't know how much, if they would have been healthy enough to even survive had we not found them and taken them in. And I'm sure they're going to be brought to some loving homes rather than just kind of fending for themselves.
A self-proclaimed dog lover, Yanino says he was happy to assist in the investigation.
I have 2 dogs myself, so I mean, you can't deny faces like this. So I actually love doing things like this.
Sullivan says cases like this are not common, but if people are struggling with their pets, they can reach out to animal control.
We have options. We work with a lot of rescues. We understand people can get in over their heads. Our job isn't to prosecute people, it's to help the animal.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A Northbridge high school student is facing charges. Police say the student posted a picture of a gun on Snapchat. In a letter to parents, the principal says police were called in as soon as administrators were made aware of the post. Police say there was no gun found in the student's locker or belongings, and the picture of the firearm was traced to an online website. The incident is under investigation. A 2-alarm fire in Worcester sends 1 resident to the hospital Thursday night with serious injuries. Neighbors say he's a veteran, and they're hoping he pulls through. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
The fire department says a home with 5 apartments inside caught fire last night. There were 4 tenants, 3 made it out safely, but as far as the department knows, 1 is still in the hospital in serious condition. A Worcester man is in serious condition after a 2-alarm fire at this Brookline Street multifamily home. Another tenant says it was a scary moment watching firefighters pull his neighbor out.
I was shocked that he was alive. I don't know how he was still breathing. That guy's got 1,000 lives.
Deputy Fire Chief John Sullivan says when firefighters arrived, they knew at least one person was still inside. He says the victim is disabled and lives on the first floor where the fire appeared to have started.
I believe that the person on the first floor, the gentleman on the first floor, was unconscious but was revived at the scene, but was in serious condition.
This neighbor says he's helped take care of the victim for the last several years and doesn't know how he survived the smoke.
I've never seen blacks. I've been in the military. I've never seen smoke that thick. And he, like I said, he's got bad lungs. He can barely walk.
Chief Sullivan says the department rescued a second man who was not injured. He says crews were able to put out the fire in 30 minutes.
Real proud of the members of the Worcester Fire Department, as always. They did a fantastic job of getting those two gentlemen out before it could get any worse.
There was fire trucks all the way to the end of the street, down to the corner there, went halfway up the street.
As for the victim, his neighbor is worried and hopes someone gets in touch with his family members.
The guy said the last night when they put him on the respirator that he wasn't accepting the oxygen very well.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The home wasn't a total loss, but a resident we spoke to says it'll be a long time before anyone can live there. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A fire in Oxford leaves a family without a home and destroys most of their belongings. One member of the family, a freshman at Oxford High School, lost almost everything. Now his classmates are rallying to help him during a tough time. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
Jacob Sullivan was in class at Oxford High School when he found out a fire had destroyed his family's home.
I received a call down to the office, and I was told that there was a fire and it happened to be my house. It was the initial shock. I just didn't know what to think at the time.
According to the Oxford Fire Department, the home is a total loss. The freshman says he lost just about everything.
The only thing that firefighters could save out of the whole house was a filing cabinet that had my parents' information in it, so that's good. And this portrait that my mom had made me for Christmas about the Bay Path Oxford game.
Coming back to school, Sullivan's teammates on the football team wanted to do something to help him.
I knew that I had extra pairs of shoes and I had a lot of them, so I figured that he was in need, and I think the team would do it for me if I was in need, so I figured I'd return the favor.
We're all going to be collecting clothes. Everyone that doesn't have any clothes that they wear, we'll bring those. And then as a team, we're planning on making a dinner and having his whole family be there and just show that we support them and that we're family.
Oxford High Principal Dr. Kimberly Henry says the students helping a classmate in need doesn't surprise her.
On one hand, it was kind of an everyday thing because it's who they are as people, but on another hand, it certainly was very special because of the emergent situation that Jacob and his family had. So I was very, very proud of them.
Sullivan says the love from his teammates and friends are getting him through this tough time.
I'm just happy to have some other clothes to change into. I mean, it means the world knowing that these guys have my back and that they're my family. They got my back no matter what.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The Hangover Pub in Worcester is already gaining national attention despite only being open for 2 years. This week, the Travel Channel stopped into the pub to feature them on one of its shows. The owners are not able to disclose the name of the show they'll be on, but do say it's an amazing opportunity. They say in the past 2 years, they've been featured on other local TV programs, but this is the first national television show appearance. The Worcester Business Journal held their annual Economic Forecast Forum Friday. The publisher of the Worcester Business Journal says the region has seen continued growth in recent years, and future growth was the hot topic of the event. Dozens joined the discussion at the Beechwood Hotel. Publisher Peter Stanton discussed recent national and regional economic trends and what to expect in 2018.
We're in an extended period of economic growth. The economic growth has been relatively slow, and that's what has allowed us to be in the 9th year of an expansion. And there are lots of changes in the economy, but overall it looks like there ought to be continued growth at least through 2018 in this region and obviously nationally as well.
The annual forum is hosted in partnership with the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce. Dirt, trucks, and loud roars. A sure sign Monster Jam is back. The action-packed show will be at the DCU Center this weekend, and for some of the athletes, they say this show is guaranteed to be a good time.
Monster trucks are back at the DCU Center. Friday crews were putting final touches on the trucks for this weekend's shows.
Make sure we have no bent shock shafts, making sure nothing's leaking that shouldn't be leaking, and just going a crack check on a chassis.
Parker Hatcher is the crew chief for Gravedigger. His lifelong friend Morgan Kane drives the iconic truck. The duo has competed together in Monster Jam for 3 seasons.
We work well as a team, and that's what it takes to win.
Kane grew up in North Carolina and knows the family of Gravedigger's first driver. He says being behind the wheel has always been a dream.
I love it because all the kids that are standing up, I mean, everyone loves Gravedigger, and me just putting my hand out the window to wave at them, that makes their smile come to life.
The season typically runs from January to the end of March, but both Hatcher and Kane say preparing for competition is a full-time job.
There's a lot of good drivers, a lot of veteran drivers that have been doing been in the business for a long time, been driving for a long time.
And they say it's sure to be a good show.
When the trucks come out of the tunnel for intros, it really gets the hair standing up on your arms because it's so much power in one confined area.
That was our Olivia Lemon reporting.